We're on. We're live. We're back.
Excellent.
And we're doing something new. We've got the crew here, part of the crew, boiled down version of Music Road Co.
Yeah, we got half the band. No, wait. Third of the band.
Third. Yeah. Yeah. The core, though.
Yeah, we got the core.
Yeah.
Those who live on Music Road.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
really?
true.
Yeah.
This is Music Road Co. We got Janai Allen, who's band leader on bass. Jake Thomas on the drums. I play guitar and vocals. And then we got another 6 players that we'll introduce at some point.
Yeah, and thank you to Dan and to Luke for hosting this.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Same.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to it.
Exciting. It's exciting to have more people at the slab, you know. This slab is
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
We're trying to
it's
come
not
up
as
with
on camera today, but
Is that what it is at the slab sessions? Is that
we were thinking about it. I started getting warmed up, and then afterwards, I think Dan was like I don't
backing
know
up.
about that.
Slapstick.
slapstick humor. No, I don't know. I
slapstick.
mean, we're just kind of the podcast that's in development constantly. We're finding our groove, and you're our second guests, and you're our biggest group of guests because typically we only had one other guest. So now having 2 people,
Yeah.
a drum kit all mic'd up and an electric bass,
Yeah.
vocals, it's dynamic, and Luke seems to be okay with the workload he's given himself.
I was telling Dan like 2 podcasts ago, like, yeah, I started getting into studio stuff and realized it was way too much work. And I'm having like flashbacks now. I'm like, oh, fuck, what did I do? I was getting back into it
Well,
again.
it's a good practice run because next time we'll bring the whole band.
Yeah,
All 9 of us.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll mic it all up and get it all set. And
It can be done.
When people go out and they want to see a Music Road Co. show, they don't necessarily catch if it says Music Road Trio, Music Road Co. So we had a few gigs there where we played as a trio. We advertised it as Music Road Trio, but then people would be like, where's the horns? Where's the congas? Where's all the...
Yeah.
Where's everybody? And we're like, oh, this is a trio. Sorry you came out to see us.
Yeah.
yeah, and they're like, and then they leave.
But I get to play a lot of guitar solos. So
Oh,
it's
we
not
all
bad.
get to play it up. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, and I kind of hope we bring that back a little bit. But for this season, Luke's got a baby on the way, about to be here, and he's building a house, and
Yep.
I've got a 5-month-old and a 3-year-old, and you've got 5 million projects and businesses and all kinds of stuff going on. So
Well,
Yeah.
Jake, you and I are halfway
Stuff.
too stubborn to stop with music, even though we're busy. And Jania's like full on, like every gig you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
and working.
Yeah.
yeah, if it were up to you, we'd be playing every day, I'm sure.
Pretty much. I mean, until I burn out. And then
Get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring
But-
your babies. They have those earmuffs you can put on the
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Telling you, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it you that was talking about growing up in the kick drum, or was that no?
Yeah, that was us. Like during set breaks, one of us would crawl into the bass drum, and
Oh, yeah, it's cozy in there, right?
I mean, yeah, and this is Key West in the '80s, and you know, our dads were all musicians, and all the moms were like hippie tree dance.
You like wake
type
up
ladies, and
halfway into the second set and crawl out of the kick drum and go do something.
totally, we'd all be just like hanging outside, swimming in the ocean, and like
Man.
catching lobsters. And it was an amazing upbringing with all those players, and that's kind of part
Yeah.
of, I think, for me, and for Jamie too, my brother, like the Allen drive to play music is strong. I mean, like I dragged my wife and son through a lot of like not great situations, and it cost me some major trauma and conflict in my personal life to be able to like take every gig. But for some reason, I just, as much as I maybe said like, oh, I'll try to change, or I'll try to be different, or I'll try to this and try to that, like it's just no changing it for me. I just can't not do it.
Can't take the music out of the man.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was one point where I was like, you know what? You really want? Should I just quit? I'll just quit. I'll just sell all my music stuff and I'll just never play again. Is that like? And she didn't say that. Yes, do that. But for a minute there, I was almost like I could just do it. I could just quit. But that was a fleeting moment. and
I've thought about that for just a second. Like maybe I should quit and just like be super dad at home. And then I was like, I would be so like I would love it for part of it, and then
Right.
the other half is like, dude, I need a I need to go after and get it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like get soft and sit around and
Yeah, and well, if
Play Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah.
well, I've hit those things where it's like, damn, I've played more like songs for my daughter than anybody else.
Yeah, but you're really
Well,
hitting those notes. You're like
And
doing the vibrato.
and that's a real
Mary had a
investment.
skibbity bop bop lamb.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never thought about not playing drums.
Right.
I guess I've thought about what I might do if every band I was in was just, if I just like suddenly had no more gigs at all and no drumming in my life, no music in my life. And I'm like, well, I think I'd have to just move to another country and just start a whole other life.
Mm-hmm. Stimulate yourself that way. You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, because traveling provides a very similar
Right.
kind of buzz for me. You know,
Yeah.
it's something about music that like it keeps life new and exciting, just
Yeah.
like traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a way, doing music is almost like having an extra life. You know, it's still within the time that we have because we only have so much, but doing something epic like traveling is another way to have like more content in your life like that, you know?
Absolutely. You know, it just dawned on me. I was just thinking about this like yesterday or the day before, but like if you really want to slow down time, travel more.
Mm-hmm.
Travel like all
Yeah.
the time, because that's one thing. Like routine is what makes life just fly by, you know. And as
Yeah,
the older we get,
Yeah.
Not trying to hold on to any of the moments as much. You're just kind of getting through the motions.
yep,
And things don't stand out and grab your attention to hold you and like in the memory
yeah,
forming, where then you like have the future to have the nostalgia. I mean, I have moments every day where I feel like this might be a moment I remember, but maybe I won't. It's not something like traveling. And so with traveling, you can just like grab those memories at a whim. Like, oh yeah, when I was in Cuba,
yeah,
you know?
Right.
But like, I couldn't say, yeah, last week what day was that?
right,
It's just-
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
It
what
doesn't
you
give
mean.
you like the timestamp as hard.
Yeah.
Being away from home always makes me appreciate it. As soon as I'm gone for a week, I'm like, man, this is great. I'm having fun, but I'm starting to itch. Like, all right, I want to get back at it.
Right.
Why was
That's
I
good.
not just doing this thing? And it kind of like
Right.
strips away all the bullshit, and you can
Yeah.
at least feel like you're gonna like get right back into it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I always come back with a new perspective of like, you know, all the fun things that I never do, like, you know, on a random evening, it seems like you might not be able to, but why not just go float the river on a Tuesday afternoon or evening after work or something, you know?
Clients.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What you were saying about being able to grab one memory from if you're traveling or something, I have that from when Luke and I was 5 and he was 7, and we grew up in South Africa, and we had never met my granddad here in the States. My grandmom had flown there to be with us fairly regularly, but we came here for 2.5 months at 5 and 7, and my parents stayed in South Africa. And that was a period of time that I can locate in my memory. And I know for sure I was 5 right then because I was looking at a squirrel. And they don't have those in South Africa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. It's about stimulating the mind.
Yeah.
It
Music
does.
definitely does offer that trip too. Like
Mhm.
that journey of the song, or when you're able to kind of flow into the vibe of the set, I'm sure it might create that trip for you a little bit more. I remember I used to play like in high school with a band, and we would improvise a lot of songs. So it kind of created that moment that playing the song the same way doesn't always, or at least for me.
Yeah.
And that was always a hard thing for me to play something the same over and over again. But like if you guys have like a moment that's new, it's like traveling together.
It
Yeah,
really
it is a new song or a new part to a song.
Yeah. Or we were talking about being regimented to a structure versus kind of letting it flow and being in the moment. And some of those moments where we do add something that's never been in the song before just feels so like powerful, like, whoa, that was really cool. And it just kind of happened right as it's happening, it feels
totally
great.
Yeah, we're like it's so close. Some of those moments where someone will just have this idea and just present it, execute it right in the middle of a song.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's really good, but usually we'll kind of botch it towards the end of it, like getting back to where we were. So
Yeah.
we're getting very close to this, like that ability to just improvise live and actually pull it off clean. Like, doing a backflip and like landing on your feet, like actually pulling off the landing.
Right. It's very flow state.
It's usually the hardest thing really in most music stuff too, with any like complex fill or roll or anything, like landing, nailing the landing is the hard part.
It's that comfort level.
Coming back on the one.
Yeah. If you do it every day and you're playing, 6 gigs a week or more, that stuff I'm sure starts speaking all the same language with not a single word spoken.
Yeah. And same thing though with a 9-piece band. We definitely hold back, I think, a bit. I know I hold back a bit from like trying out new shit when we're in the middle of a show with that many players. It's like
right.
I feel like overdoing that can actually create some definite frustration with everyone else, especially the horn players, because they're just like, what are you guys like?
Right.
Why are you doing this now? Like we're,
What part are we at? Okay, we just we just inverted the whole song. Like, where do we come in?
Yeah, well, just like taking a trip out of the country, it's like the way out, you're like, oh, yeah, we're going out there. You got all your clothes are folded nicely in your little compartments. And then by the time you're on your way back from your trip, you're like, just stuff it in.
Yeah.
You're like, I just can't fall asleep on this fucking airplane.
Right.
Yeah. But we're going to land.
Yeah.
I might have a panic attack.
Yeah.
But we're going to land. And as long as you can trust that. And like, if you can make eye contact in a trio, it's a lot easier to kind of like, like you said, you're looking around and you're trying to figure out where you're going and making sure everybody, like, that eye contact is crucial for the communication, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a trip with a 9
8
piece
people,
band.
9 people, like you're not going to be able to see everyone. So yeah, somebody's going to get tripped up most likely. It's going to be harder.
Yeah. It's more stick to the structure. And like when we play as a trio though, it's pretty wide open.
Oh yeah.
Like the thing is we miss all the other parts, but I just love like the freedom that it gives us as a trio. We can just like be so much more free about what we do and where we go, and
pretty much jam on stage in a way, because we know each other so well at this point, the three of us, that we know our musicality and stuff. So I can hear, and we all have that sense together, but like, we can just kind of extend something out and we know when it's going to come back. And
yeah, it's a special thing that like it's just also born of like time spent together, which is something that's kind of rare in a lot of the other groups and musical scenes that I'm a part of and all that down in Roanoke. It's like everyone is in everyone else's band, and there's no like old school band camaraderie of just like, no, like we're in a band, this is our band, we're gonna do this. And so bands like that, who grew, just become some of the most solid ever, because regardless of their musicality, their ability to connect and play together.
Yeah.
You can feel that in a lot of bands. And you feel it less and less, I think, in a lot of newer music. It's just like everyone's super professional and super badass, and they show up and play their parts like impeccably, but there's no glue there.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like
they
that.
have no time spent together, and they're
Dude,
just,
Led Zeppelin playing together and all these bands that like they'd fall into the same grooves together.
yeah.
So, the timing might be kind of messed up and there might be these parts where everything kind of goes a certain way. That's kind of where the magic was in a way.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for a lot of those groups, I don't know if I say unfortunately, but all that time spent together usually also came with a whole lot of drugs done together. Right. And so,
and fighting.
And then, all those other things too, drama and everything. But, Yeah. It's
Right.
like the pros and cons of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
But
of our
we're all just so mild though too compared to all those dudes. That's just one thing. We're just so. Certainly none of us are like, fuck yeah, let's give me that bottle right now. Let's finish it.
right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I
we're
don't-
just nice, even keeled.
Maybe that's holding us back. We gotta
Yeah,
start fucking
right?
of course.
Yeah.
ripping it up.
It worked for Keith Moon for
Cheers.
sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Oh, yeah,
everybody.
cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Yeah.
and come again. And maybe this is a good moment for y'all to get into something,
Play some music.
get into something
little
cool,
something.
some
Sure.
music.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. This will be a fun, like we said, sort of experimental. It's almost like a tiny desk kind of feel.
It's a big desk.
Big desk.
Hell yeah.
It's a slab
Hey,
session.
There's the
desk.
name.
Big desk.
Dude, that's bold. Coming for you, tiny desk.
All right. I'm going to put this mic up.
That is nice. What is that?
Is that the Basil Hayden?
Nah,
Oh,
there was
nice.
only a little bit of that left.
It's a rye.
It's a lovely sipping liquor. I mean, I could take shots of that too. It'll be okay. All right, I'm gonna put this one down. Put this one up.
I didn't hear a change at all.
Right now.
No difference.
What do you guys want to play? What do you guys want to play?
Left lane?
All right then. You want to do one more? Oh yeah. Come on, hey, you out of my way. No time for games, running late today. I got things to see and people to do, and I got big plans and got lots to lose. So hey, you out of my way, living the high life up in the fast lane. So step on the gas and move to the right at the next rest stop and stop wasting my time. Big ups to your father, the man who said he taught you how to drive. Instead, should've learned from your mother, cause that sucker mom, she gonna make it on time. Now let's call up my granny, the one who's gonna tell you how it's done. She said you got two hands, you put one on the wheel, you put the other in the window for the curb appeal. So hey, you out of my way, got a show to play and you gon' make me late. Come on, we in the left lane cruising in first, and if we going any slower we be going reverse. Yeah, hey, you out of my way, got my pedal to the metal in my Chevrolet. Yeah, move on over, let me pass. If you would just get out my way, I won't be riding your ass. Oh, you drive too slow in the left lane. Oh, so very slow, all up in the fast lane. Tell you what, man, in the left lane. All up in the fast lane. In the left lane. Here we go now. All up in the fast lane. I fucked up there. One more time. all along since a young man. They said I move too fast. Well, I got no feet left for braking, 'cause I got both feet on the gas. Now that I'm a big man, they say my car's too big. Well, I got big dreams, I got people to see, I got product to move, I got family to meet, I got friends to look out for and things that I need. And if you slow me down, shit's about to get real. So don't get out and run and then drive 55 when the speed limit sign clearly reads 65. And then turn on your turn signal when you're not turning. You driving me crazy, you making me nervous. So hey, out of my way, no time for games, running late today. I got things to see and people to do, and I got big plans and got lots to lose. So hey, you out of my way, living the high life up in the fast lane. So step on the gas and move to the right at the next rest stop and stop wasting my time. Whoa, you drive too slow in the left lane. And I know that you're retired, ain't got shit to do, but now I'm running late. Get about my way. Really, ma'am? You're doing 35 on the I-10. If you keep driving like that, you're gonna cause a wreck. So with all due respect, get about my way. Come on, son. We gonna fisticuffs on 81. I got a full think of that road rage burning night. And if you can't take this heat, get about my way. What the fuck, dude? Got me pissed off and acting rude. And I just got one thing to say to you. Yes, you are all up in the fast lane.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cool. Good job, guys.
Hell yeah, guys. That was sick.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Yeah, a little rough around the edges still.
A little bit.
It's always a work in progress.
That's how we do it at the slab, man. Live edge.
That's it.
Rough around the live edge.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Live on the
Live
rough-
edge.
Rough around the edges.
The live edge.
The Live
Actually-
Edge. That's a great name, too.
Yeah, we're full of names,
That's not bad.
you know.
Live Edge. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's got an edge to it. A live one.
Yeah.
Bill sanded this down too much to be the
I was
rough
gonna
around
say
the
it's
edges.
not
That's
quite.
true.
Yeah.
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 It's very smooth around the edges.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth edge.
So tell me, who inspired this song? Like, is some real piece of shit on 81 kept cutting you off,
every
or what,
day,
what was
right?
what happened?
Yeah. No. That song came to me. Yes, I was driving. I was on the just the bypass Christiansburg, like on 81 right
Yeah.
near there. And I've spent plenty of time like feeling road rage. Oh yeah. And just being angry on the road. People drive like fucking dumbasses sometimes. But then, you gotta like remember sometimes I do too. We all have moments. And so I don't know, it just came to me and I was like trying to like just sing a song instead of being pissed about people driving slow, and it was like all up in the left lane. It's just kind of the first part that came out. And then sometimes
Hey, you.
yeah,
Fuck out of my way.
There's a lot of other
Yeah.
things that could have come out. So
Yeah.
some funk and rhythm. That's good.
Totally. No, and that song does have like multiple other verses that, all got scrapped.
Oh, 'cause I felt like I've heard that song before, but I had never heard a few of those verses.
Yeah, there's definitely that whole bit at the end was all added there kind of on studio day sort
Nice.
of. We that's like where some of my best work comes from, is when it's like we're in the studio, I need to just come up with the gold quickly.
Heat of the moment.
And those are often some of my best lines come from there, but
Right.
but then that song, like, yeah, all kinds of other verses, but a lot of them were like getting to the point of offensive enough that I was like,
Right.
I'm not the kind of guy that wants to get up and like just offend everybody. So even though that gets plenty of attention, and
I think that the message of humor translates in that song. I
Totally,
love that
like,
song.
yeah,
it's a good one.
but it gets so thick. Like I wrote a verse about my wife's sister, Lila, because she gets fucking pissed when she's on the road. Like, I mean, a lot of women I know do, but my God, she'll just be so vicious, and like her comments to whoever she's trying to get around or follow. I'm like, so I wrote a verse about her, but in the end, I was like, nah.
Do you want to air it to the podcast audience, or keep it close?
Yeah, no, I'm not ready.
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna have to subscribe to maybe get that someday.
Yeah, get him behind the wheel and you'll hear it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, get her behind the wheel, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Dude, my wife is like that too.
Exactly.
I'll be driving in the passenger seat, and there'll be this little old lady crossing the street, and Abby will feel like she's out of place, and she'll fucking flip her off.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of the road. Oh,
right.
next to
Yeah,
her,
you're like cringing.
Sorry,
like, oh,
lady.
shit. Yeah.
I should probably have more road rage. I'll turn a corner, someone will be totally on my side, and I'm just like, hey, buddy.
You got roads in.
Yeah, like I have no temper flare up.
Yeah, just drive around a little bit.
It's probably because half the time I'm the guy across the line, you know?
Right. I've definitely gotten better. It's just like, it's all, you know, when you're in a rush, man. When you're in a rush, everything is stressful. And then when people decide to drive like idiots, right when you're in a rush, but that's not really their fault. It's like my fault for being in a rush.
Right.
And when I'm not, all my road rage does go away.
Right.
You know, it's like, I understand, like everyone, I mean, sometimes, again, some people just like don't get it, you know. Some people shouldn't be driving, especially now too, like teaching Nio how to drive.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, and I give him as much shit as I give anyone. I'm like, dude, you're like, you see these people passing you on the right, like this is what I wrote the song about, bro. Like, you know, because Lucy's like, no, never cruise in the left lane.
Yeah.
And I love cruising in the left lane, but only if I'm not slowing someone else down.
Yeah, well, you keep an eye on the rear view and get out of the way if people are coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
I get anxious when somebody's driving behind me.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. I'm just like, it makes me drive faster, and then I'm like, so half the time now I just try to pull over, but I've definitely noticed like, oh man, I'm driving pretty fast. It's because there's someone right behind me, and I'm like, I don't want to slow them down.
It's especially bad at night because whoever's, you know, because cops tend to come up behind you and like real close and tailgate you because they're checking you out and being assholes and like trying to get you to do something stupid.
Yeah.
And basically running your numbers. And like, so when someone rides your ass at night, it's like, shit, if the headlights look right, it's like, man, that might be a cop. So I'm not going to like speed up or like, you know, like then you start doing the wrong thing.
I'm imagining a really funny music video though while you're talking, because it's such a relatable thing to just get pissed off and paranoid and, you know, all the different things that could happen in the cars that pass you and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
The funky party you could be having when shit goes down.
We've envisioned a whole music video for this song.
Oh, good.
One day I'd love to make it a reality.
Oh yeah.
It involves some of our friends' vehicles and their characters.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we're working on release date. We got a little bit to do on that, but just a tiny bit, right?
Yeah, really mastering at this point.
Yeah.
Just need to release it.
I should think by the time this drops, that will also have dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hopefully our next song too, Baba Dada.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was fun. That was kind of in that, like we've actually been working that song longer than I thought. I was like, oh, it's kind of a new song. And then I saw us playing it a year ago. We posted a video about it.
Right.
But it was kind of cool. Like the week leading up to going in the studio, we just added 2 or 3 parts and they're fucking like, they hit nicely.
Talk about a musical journey.
Yeah.
Like that song
7 minutes
has become, just with adding those couple parts though, it all of a sudden it changed it to where it's like, wow, it actually really, really goes and up in the flow and the ebb and flow.
Right.
It's like, it's pretty awesome to play as a player. It's always hard to like, sometimes I feel like a lot of the stuff we play is, maybe it's more fun to play than to listen to. I can't quite tell, you know, but like, everyone else will have to let us know how they feel about listening to it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if this is one of those songs as well, or if this is better.
Yeah, Baba Dada. Well, when I listen, we've barely got a chance to really listen to it, you know. So like it's hard to tell. I mean, I definitely like listening to it.
Yeah, I do too. At the time of this recording, we went to the studio and we we got all the raw tracks, but we haven't edited it all down yet and stuff. So what we have gotten back to listen to is, it's kind of like the rough mix, and there's still lots of production to be done. But regardless of that, I love to just put it on in the car real loud when I'm driving, and my 3-year-old already loves it.
Excellent. Yeah, I've only played it like
Xander
a couple times.
Shout out
I've been so
Xander.
hella distracted.
Xander,
Yeah, toddler
my man.
approved.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Baba Dada. Toddler approved.
So that's if you didn't notice that name Baba Dada, it's got two meanings. We're baby daddies, but also Baba Dada, Baba 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 Dada, Baba Dada.
Such a dad joke within a dad joke. It's like,
Indeed.
Yeah. Jake, you weren't supposed to tell people that. Cat's out. Cat's out.
I think people are going to like that. I like it.
Love it. Gonna love it. I mean,
That's one of the ones we were thinking about playing today, right?
indeed.
We should
Yeah.
do it next.
Yeah,
now.
because no
Now
one
we've
has
hyped it
any
up.
idea what you're talking about. Like, Baba what? Baba Dada
Yeah.
what?
Well, that's how the song goes. Baba Dada, Baba Dada, Baba Dada.
We'll show you.
You want to do it now?
Oh, whenever you guys.
Sounds good.
Sure.
We'll dig into
Don't
that.
keep them
I
waiting.
guess while we're still on the subject of it, when it was one of those songs too, like you mentioned, you get that inspiration in the studio. Right before recording it, we like worked it real hard, and we added all these parts and made some changes and stuff, all for the better. But some of it's brand new to us too. So
Yeah, definitely.
So here we go.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I really love doing
For
it
the
that way, though.
commenters.
When we get to the studio and like have mostly everything figured out and worked out,
Hell
but there's always room for like
Yeah, nuance.
a little something, and so we'll at least take a couple hours in the studio and like be like,
Yeah.
just change these couple little minor adjustments, and
I
it
love-
makes all the difference.
I love that moment, and
Yeah.
everything that comes out of that is always, well, maybe not always, but in our brief history of studio recordings like that, I've always feel like, oh, we made just the right call, right at the right time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
All right.
it go like this.
Baba Dada. First live. Well, sorry.
No. Yep.
This is not probably the first live performance of this song, but a live recording, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So that's exclusive. So that's why you got to subscribe, guys.
That's it.
Stuff like this.
job, guys.
Yeah, not bad. Baba Dada.
Not too bad. I hit the wrong button, and then I played the wrong part because I hit the wrong button.
You were hitting buttons while we were doing all that?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Your wife was
He's a
love
button
you.
man.
Not
That's
too
why
bad.
he's a
though.
Baba Dada.
That's
It's dude, it's so fun playing a song in the studio, and then like it's like you got it all warmed up in there.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that one feels feels so much more satisfying to play that song with those parts added. Feels like a complete
Yeah,
kind of jam, you know.
Yeah.
It really does go some places.
Yeah, it's a long form song. They don't exist much these days.
Right.
there's bands that do it, but
Yeah, that's true.
True. Yeah. I mean, the jam world is just something we're not hugely familiar with, but oh yeah, like.
Janiyah, do you get this, or do either of you get this, where you play a song like that and then you can instantly picture the sea of people at like a huge festival, and
Yeah.
it's like that's what that song needs.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing it's missing.
Yeah. And then really, like, when you see bands like Fearless Flyers doing just that, only of course better, but doing just that and filling Madison Square, it's like, you've got to be kidding me. Like that, you know, that such a simple concept of music, but it was catchy enough that people just love it. And
Yeah.
and to see that 4-piece fill a whole stadium
As an instrumental band.
an instrumental band, and like, you know, literally with the drums, with a kick snare hi-hat set up, you know, like, but they're like world-class players, but
Right.
Baba Dada definitely embraces that kind of vibe to me. It's like, us following the, you know, for me, definitely following the footsteps of Joe Dart.
Oh yeah.
Shout outs to Joe Dart.
So
of course,
we
for
learned the Wolfpack song Deantown.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
maybe a month later, the beginnings of this song
I
erupted.
think, you were really inspired.
Yeah.
Jake brought the initials of this song, Baba Dada, to us. Just as
that
like
one
a riff.
Baba
you know?
Dada.
And it was just like, shit,
Nice.
man. Okay. Like,
Well,
where
you
are we
guys
gonna...
added a
Jake,
lot onto it.
Did
so.
you play that on guitar and show it to us?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have somewhere on my phone. I've got like a really, really crappy recording of me like playing it really slowly and retardedly on guitar.
Just
An
some of the
inspiration to many drummers out there. Like, you can tell these musicians what to do. Just show them.
I was gonna say,
Make
like,
them play what you want.
You can tell what rhythm to be on.
When drummers come up with other musical parts, like, I find
It
that
locks in.
it's often, you know, really good stuff. Like, drummers just have such a good ability to like navigate rhythm. So oftentimes, like, riffs will be super pocket because the drummer's whole life is based on the pocket.
And that's what makes you such an epic bass player.
I wouldn't say epic, but like
Epic in that
feel,
regard.
the feel, like
Yeah.
you know, being able to just like feel the pocket of the music, feel
Yeah.
the pulse of the song, and
Right.
try to embrace that is definitely, you know, a focus of ours. 'Cause
And just to clarify, you know, I said that because you were a drummer for most of your life.
yeah,
So
You were raised like in a drum
in a
Right.
kick drum.
for sure,
That's
yeah. Raised in a kick
on the
drum.
beach
That's it.
by hippies that dance like trees.
Yeah,
Was that we recorded that part, right?
I think hopefully we
It's a
got
scoop. You heard it here first.
that. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and then I mean, you know, growing up in Ecuador and stuff too, like rhythm is so critical there. Like so much of the music that comes from Central and South America, it's almost like reversed. To where a lot of the bands that I grew up watching and seeing were the drummers. I mean, there's often more drummers than there are any other, you know, because you have a conga player, timbale player, a bongo player, there may be even a drum set player, and then you might have a bass player and a keyboard player. And there's like 3 or 4 percussionists and 2 melodic players. And oftentimes drummers led the band. They would sing, they were like frontmen. Like, it's kind of almost a polar opposite of a lot of, for instance, like Blue Ridge Appalachian tradition where there are no drummers. It's all,
Right.
all strings.
Yeah.
Well, there's flat footers, right? Does that count?
Sure.
And washer boarders. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Water boarders.
Jaw harpers.
Yeah, right. Jaw harpers.
Jar harpers.
Man, when I first came to Floyd, I was like, man, I'm going to get a fucking washboard. And like, there's some badass chick that I that was like maybe
At
she was
Floyd
with
Fest?
Old
Did
Crow or something, or
no.
or no, it was the Grand Old. No, it wasn't Grand Old Opry. It was one of
It's
those
like
other bands.
some kind of donkey.
Careful. Yeah, she was some kind of donkey. I don't know.
No,
some kind of donkey band.
Asylum Street Spankers.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I think
okay.
that might have been them.
There was
They
another-
were like their whole gimmick was to just be like rough and like.
Why are you telling
vulgar,
everybody my
super vulgar.
Wi-Fi password right now, dude? Jesus, gonna have to change it.
I think that was them.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't.
I know what you're
Anyway.
talking about, Jake. At Floyd Fest, there was some band.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember the band name, unfortunately. There was something donkey in the band name, and there was a washboard. chick.
Cheeto Baptista beat the donkey.
Beat the
Yeah.
donkey.
Oh,
That's what
fuck
it was.
yeah. Did
Yeah.
one of those chicks have a washboard too?
I thought so.
Yo, they had all kinds.
I feel like
of
I
stuff.
remember just like a tattered white dress and then just.
Dude, this
Yeah,
is one
I
of my
could be
favorite
totally wrong.
bands of all time,
Yeah.
for sure. They have like some serious apparatus that they bring, apparati
Yeah.
that they bring on stage. They have a tower of like these, I don't know what they're made of, probably plastic or something, hands, and they're like all hooked up to a chain and like a lever. So when
Oh,
the one
man.
chick claps her hands, she's actually clapping like a set of 10 hands.
Wow.
They travel
wow.
with that thing. It's like a fucking. They like stand it
Wow.
up, and it's like 10 sets of hands.
Dude.
I mean, it's very innovative. That group blows me away.
I feel like we got enough shit just with our instruments. Never mind, like
Oh, I know.
big,
Yeah.
rigs and.
Yeah.
Well, the dream is for sure to get to a place where yes, like I can have,
We have the support.
a trailer the size of
This
you know,
room.
yeah, full of drums and wild,
course
all
it's
kinds
drums,
Well,
yeah.
a lot of it is drums, but all kinds of
Right.
wild shit. Like it'd be so cool to. I love ethnic music and world
Right.
music. I love the
Yeah.
sound of all those. A lot of Indian instruments,
Right.
the sitar and like the udu and the oud. The J Mill's got one like, and J Mill's playing that flute, man. And it's like I just love all those sounds.
I'd like to get in on more of the percussion stuff when we play live.
I love it when Vladi has the bataz.
Yeah.
Or when, you and Nio and Vladi and I all do like a bata moment. We've done that a couple times.
Yeah. I still need to work. Something about the batas, they're just like, they're so special, but they need proper amplification.
Right,
Or
right.
it just sounds weak.
They're
and
a tricky stage.
they're anything but a weak drum. Like they're very powerful drum and like ancient and very
Right.
ceremonial and stuff. So I hate to have them in a live setting and them not just be powerful. In order to mic them properly, it's going to be a whole thing.
Especially in a band that's
where-
already probably running 17 channels or 20,
Exactly.
27 channels or whatever.
Exactly. But in big productions, yeah, that's what you can get that. You can have all that.
No big deal.
You guys ever heard of Pink Martini, a band?
No.
It sounds really familiar.
They're great. They're more on the like in tango and but they're very like fusiony and they mix all these kinds of music and it's a big huge band, yeah, kind of thing where like, we need the triangle just in this one moment of this one song, but it
Yeah.
needs its own microphone and like so their setup is extensive.
Yeah.
I love that kind of like big production.
What's that other I think he's a conga player, but big production. It's Martin something. We were watching him for a while.
You mean the guy who did the Michael Jackson covers?
Yeah.
Oh, Tony
he's a
Sukar.
timbale player.
Tony Sukar.
Tony
the,
Sukar.
Yeah, the timbale
Yeah.
player. Yeah,
Yeah.
the player and like
Yeah.
and a producer and
coordinating these
Right.
big songs,
Band leader.
big shows.
yeah. So, of course, those are like some of the idols.
Yeah.
Like the place that I'd love to get to is
And what are all those
Yeah.
bands? Those are easily 13, 14, 15 people, right?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And they might have one guy that's just the cowbell player, right?
Yeah, usually
Maybe.
the bongo player takes care of cowbell
Okay.
in that traditional formula, But then also, it depends. They have like 3 singers on a couple of those tunes, and one of those singers will grab a cowbell, and the other one will grab a claves, and the other will have the maracas. Typical.
I'm always impressed
Guida.
by these big bands. Like you guys, 9-piece, 10-piece, 12-piece. Like I don't even know how to go get a pizza with a couple of pizza people. Like how do you-
It
you
has
guys
its challenges, but
gathering people to meet up and do this and learn songs and go out and
Well,
get out there. It's such a
whenever-
challenge. What's your strategy on how how have you been able to build a group that meets up and does this so often? Because you guys play a lot.
Yeah, well, it's like a big party every time we get together for a gig, It's like, gotta hug everyone, and everyone's happy to see each other and put on an epic show. It's got its pros and cons, because on the flip side, getting together for practices can be kind of tricky, but we've managed to stay busy enough that a lot of the gigs kind of are the practice, It's like when we're playing every weekend, everybody's kind of just still riding that wave from the last gig. And
nice.
So ideally, we get together a couple times pre-season and,
But the way we got there was in the beginning just being willing to basically get paid nothing. That's for starts. That's a big part. Being willing to even lose money on a show. Through like our stubbornness and definitely some of my particular stubbornness. I mean, we were a 4-piece with John Hill in the beginning, and then we had to part ways with him, and then I just wanted to add players and add players and add players. And every time I'm like, hey guys, we need a trombone player. And they're like, well, we already have one. I'm like, but we need 2 trombone players.
You got it.
They're like, okay. And I'm like, how about Vladimir? Like on the congas. They're like, okay. And like, they've put up with me through the whole thing.
But it's been great.
Yeah. Because we've built and it's not like, and I didn't force it on anyone, but yeah, it's like,
You remember spoon fight days? Like we were starting to get horn section, 3-piece.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Jake and I have always been.
Yeah, we were starting to add members.
Not very hard to convince.
So true. Yeah, it didn't take much, but that sacrifice was real and had to be there. Like for the first 2 or 3 years, we would book a show. I was booking most of it, and we'd all book it a little bit, but we're all like musicians. We're not like great business negotiators, so they'd be like, well,
we'll say that yet. Don't say that. We'll have to edit that out.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, great. I was going to get even deeper. The venue would be like, we can only do 700, and I'd be like, I'll tell you what, 6, and you got a deal. Like literally that.
6 and you let me play.
Yeah, exactly. And so to pay 9 people, and a lot of them put up with it too. Like we always paid everyone, but it wasn't great. A lot of times we paid them $50, but the more part of it is the fucking buzz that everyone gets off the band. Like when you have a band that big, you can't get up on stage and be part of that and
not want more.
Yeah. You come after that show, you're like, fuck, that really is powerful. Whatever we did there, it's powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's something I'll give us credit is we really like have fun when we're playing. Like it's not a whole lot of gigs where it's like everybody's down. Like we're able to pick it up and be like, man, let's fucking go for it. Janai and I'll start getting a step in line with each other, and next thing you know, I'm jumping around. And Vladimir on congas, he's always just like this big bright beam, just like.
Can I get that whiskey?
So I don't know.
Yeah, he's super charismatic.
Yeah. That's the thing with him too. It's hard to not be excited.
We've had a couple players over the years that we can't get to move around at all, but
they do on their instruments, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing is like maybe they're not moving around physically, but the music is moving through you physically. Like you guys were saying, right. Is this song just fun to play, or is it also fun to listen to? And I think that's just you guys being humble, because like if it's fun to play and you're good musicians and you know what good music is, then there's no denying the vibes. It's a physical vibration. That's the beauty of music to me, is it takes on the form of who's consuming it or who's in presence of it. So
it's fucking infectious.
And that's why bands like you were mentioning earlier do so well, and why that song will do well and songs like it do well. Because the instrumental carries it so far, and it almost frees you up to dance more when there's not lyrics, I think. I love music like that. I love lyrics too to connect to, but the lyrics draw you into a very specific curated kind of perspective that you can interpret in your own poetic ways that will hit you different in different times. But music can be like vastly interpreted in every single moment. So like hits you, but it also connects you on like the rhythm.
Yeah.
And I could tell that. I didn't know you wrote like the inspiration behind that song, but I could tell by the smile on your face that I was like, the drummer likes this song. There's so many changes.
It's a drumming song
written for drums.
Yeah. I could tell this is the drummer song. I like it.
So far, that's been our only
instrumental
original.
Really?
Right?
True.
Well, do another. You got my vote.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the whole thing but you're so right. Like the lyrics, singing and lyrics, it just triggers a completely different part of your brain. And the when they're not there, the trance can actually kick in.
Yeah.
The trance is what the music is like really providing, and then the lyrics will like often kind of almost ground the mind to where it could be even harder to get into that place. So, and there's certainly value in both, and we put tremendous value on lyrics and and having a message and having something to sing. Like I think a lot of people do connect to that, but we also really connect to a lot of just the jam moments. The moments where you're really you're building energy in those moments.
The Latin stuff kind of does that for me as well. Like, I understand part of the lyrics, but I'm not much of a Spanish speaker. So even the Latin songs, and I think that's kind of it for a lot of people, is it lets you get closer to that.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys definitely, the message behind your lyrics, it's deep, and fuck bad drivers. You know what I mean? That resonates.
It's funny,
no, it resonates deep.
Resonates
to the core.
Yeah, it's funny to pick that song out of the deep resonators, because
it resonates.
That's one of the ones
North.
that's like, yeah.
Please.
It's funny because that's one of the ones that's like, I'll write most of my lyrics are basically really focused on making the world a better place, and
absolutely
kind of like love your brother, man, and just all the good, simple messages that all religions try to put forth. And then there's Left Lane,
and then there's
which
that
is
one.
just like, but it's super relatable too, though. You're right. I mean,
it is.
It strikes home because that's something that's in everyday life for people. Everyone, it's very cliche to like try to make the world a better place. Yeah, fuck, we're all doing the best we can here, but a song that like touches that, like, the
world would be a better place
every day.
if people just got over.
I think it's good to have both, because it's good to have these bigger concepts floating around and stuff, and then Monday morning hits and you got to get to work, and that's real life right there.
For sure, exactly.
It's a beautiful song about awareness. Is what that is.
And Ernie sent us a picture of the expressway in Charlotte where he lives, and there was like on the government the digital letterboard that they have now, it said, I've got a picture of it, but I forget, it said left lane is for passing, not for cruising, or something like that.
Fuckers.
Yeah, I was right. Like, damn, they're like, good for them. There's our tax dollars hard at work. Some good advice for a change.
Clearing out the left lane. Finally.
Yeah. Message to kids listening to this podcast: just get out of the left lane.
Yeah, learn how to drive. I mean, and the grandmother part in that is very real. My grandmother was hell on wheels. She was a fucking maniac. Like, love my grandmother to death. She passed a couple years ago now. But she's from Manhattan, total city woman, man. But also very well traveled and a worldly person. But dude, when she got behind the wheel of a car, she was a totally different animal. Yeah. New York people can be like that. Yeah, she was, and she had a classic green Beetle, a punch buggy.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And she'd floor it,
and she would be flipping people off, like really. I mean, she's like old, skinny, white hair, like grandma.
You got to know your hand signals if you're driving in New York.
That's right. You must be from fucking New Jersey. You fucking that was my grandma. She was awesome.
Sounds like you got her in a line in there, right?
Yeah. That's where
that
line
up my
came.
granny.
Yeah, my granny will tell you how it's done. Yeah,
I like it.
You got two hands, keep one on the wheel, and the other one out the window for the curb appeal.
That's right.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
I love your lyricism in that.
Thanks.
Song,
What I like about that song is it breaks a bit of our polite white boy kind of thing. It's like
so true. Yeah.
The older I'm getting, the more I realize that not a whole lot of people, like there are people that want everybody to be polite and all that, but some people really just want to hear some shit.
Yeah.
I think it's a culture change it's been happening with like podcasts and internet and stuff. People hear more of it, and but it depends on where you are, I guess. But
Yeah.
Growing up around here,
Authenticity.
there's so many religious people and stuff. It's like I always feel like I need to be reserved,
Right.
not say anything too provocative.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think it's
That's a dangerous word.
yeah,
Watch
like,
out.
I
shit.
mean, I think it's a sign of being raised well that you have some awareness of like self-constraint
Sure.
and self-restraint and not just blatantly, offending people around you.
Right.
I think that's a pretty important skill to have. But it is interesting because like, yeah, well, I'll like hem and haw over. Well, and Lucy said something too about, like you really have to say fuck like in the song, really? And I'm like, you know what? Like I grew up on like NWA and fucking like some of the most insane clown posse. Like, come on, dude.
Dude, I'm not
Like,
the only one. I hear somebody like just fucking throw it in the right spot and like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
and
it.
Often the shock value of those things, the music that is sometimes the most vulgar and like it just goes, it blows up because of that shock value. And it's not something I'm trying to like follow that path necessarily, but it is funny how I'll like second guess saying fuck once in a song.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Left Lane is it's the second explicit lyric song in my life out of like
Really?
dozens and dozens of tunes.
Was the first one Reflex?
No, just aliens
Oh.
do what you want because we say stop eating other people's shit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, maybe you guys should write an instrumental song, all instrumental, and then like
Drop
just
the F-bomb.
say fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like at one point, at the end.
Fuck. Yeah, yeah.
Just so it's explicit.
In
Get a
Babadada,
third
it
one.
would be perfect in Babadada somewhere. Just like right in there.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah, like put it way in the background, like it's captured by drum mics.
That would be
All right,
perfect.
call Willie up. We got to get back in the studio.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah, for sure.
All three of us at the same time.
We have to mic up the drums just like they were, so that it captures it
Right,
from
right.
behind there. Yeah.
Oh,
But shout out to Willie.
Yeah, Fainting Goat Studios,
Yeah.
Bedford.
It's a great place to go.
We
Yeah,
love
he's
it.
the man.
We love him. We love it there.
Man, I would love to just kind of spill out a little bit of our history, because Carbon Culture, that was right as Luke and I, because I'm 9 years younger than you, so
I think I caught one show of Carbon Culture up at the above Mama Lazardo's.
Yeah.
Whiskers.
Whiskers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Rick Pancake.
Yeah.
And I was like, right as you guys quit that, right after you quit it, I had my first drum lessons with you, and I was like probably 14 or 15, maybe
Right.
Nio's age,
Right, yeah.
And Luke and I went on to form Spoon Fight with our buddy Isaac. Shout out Isaac.
Shout out Isaac.
So we played as a 3-piece for a bunch of years while you were playing with the Aliens, which is with your brother and your cousin and Cameron McLaughlin on bass.
Shout
Nasty
out.
guy.
Yeah.
Woo, in a good way.
Yeah. Absolutely
and,
atrocious in the best way.
Right?
Like it's
and
stinky.
other members too, but
And then we did Color J, which
That's
was
right.
my brother and I and John
Yeah.
Hill. Yeah, which is where we forged our thing with John Hill.
mm-hmm.
And then that kind of fell apart. And in the meantime, your guys' thing was kind of, Isaac was moving.
Yeah, so Isaac moved away, and then we needed a sub bass player, and
No, it's just like what, just like the musical journey, we took this journey to Costa Rica together,
Oh, nice.
which was,
Hung out.
it's the one time we actually all managed to go together
Yeah.
with our families
for a long vacation.
and go on a nice, cool vacation. We were only there
weeks.
for like a little bit, but you guys were there for longer. But yeah, it was like, and in that trip, we like schemed on when we get back from Costa Rica, we're going to join forces
Yeah.
nice.
and make a band.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Janiyah was courteous enough to give up the drum throne and pick up the bass.
Switch to bass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, truth is something I, always almost wanted to, like, man, I would love to be a bass player in a band. Watch, especially getting to drum with Cameron McLaughlin playing bass.
Yeah, see what he can do on
just
that.
yeah, all my years with Aliens, I was like, I just want to be a bass player. Like, if I can be that badass, like that's what I want to do is be a bass player, and But I never really thought of it like I really would. But my dad's also a bass player, and so
I think it's a natural progression of a drummer because I just got a bass a short scale that my son can learn, but it's kind of for me too.
that's not just a short scale. That is
That's an uber short scale. It's
that's a
ukulele
mini
bass.
scale for sure.
Yeah, you can play it.
Badass. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it.
You might
on
have
our
to
last
play
song.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into a question I was going to ask you guys because I didn't know that whole backstory. But so I was wondering, like, what came first, the street music road co or the band? Did you guys already live on the same street before?
We formed the band name while we were all at the practice space on Music Road.
Yep.
I think I had a property already there. I was building my house. I think you were building your house up on the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
There's definitely a period where we were all on
John
the same
was living there at the workspace.
That is true. Yeah, like I moved there originally, and then we managed to get Jake kind of moved. But then there was a period there where we rented our house to Luke and Jake.
That's true.
And Izzy and Abby, so they were all there. And then there was a while they were in their RV in front of the music studio.
Yeah, we all came back from Costa Rica and landed on your spot because we were too cheap to like still rent a place while we were on vacation.
Let it go.
Go on vacation.
Yeah, dude, I remember when I had my RV parked outside what we were practicing in. I remember just running a snake from the practice space up into my camper, and that's where I had my laptop with some of this gear, and I was like tracking the demo.
That's right.
I had it like my RV outside our studio was my tracking room.
That's awesome.
What year was this that you guys formed Music Road Co?
Oh shit!
Good question.
That is a good question.
Was it after Costa Rica? It was shortly after.
It was basically right after that. So I don't know what year.
And Costa Rica was
17 or something.
In 2000. Was it 12? I think it was 12.
Sounds close. Naya was born in 2008, so he was older than 4 years old when we went to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But probably,
it wasn't 12.
Probably,
maybe it was 16.
14, 16,
I think it was 16.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was an even.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we just tested and disproved my theory about traveling being like something that activates memory, and
that's true.
So we'll scrap that whole idea.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
you can like lock right into the memory because you travel.
But we can though.
If I had to guess, I'd say
memories.
I'd say we probably went to Costa Rica in 16, but then formed Music Road Co. in 17.
Yeah.
Because for a while you were playing bass in our group as a sub for Isaac.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 17.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah. It was February 2016.
That we went on
found
vacation.
A bunch of pictures. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys bring a third song that you wanted to play tonight?
We've tossed a couple around.
Sure.
We could play a few different things. Did we settle on one?
No.
It's either For Sale or Reflex.
Reflex, Words,
IDK,
Dance All Night, Horas. If you wanted to dig into some Latin, although that's really better with the big.
That's really good
horns.
with the horns.
Yeah, congas.
Let's do Reflex. Good with that one?
Sure.
I like the agreeable nature of everyone.
This is how we are on stage.
Yeah, so true.
When we forget to bring a set list.
The lucid set list approach.
Jake, I just want to hear you like throw a fit and be like, fuck it, I want to play For Sale.
I prepared for this.
Right, yeah.
Throw the table over.
It looks pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Right? Till it takes us by surprise. We take a smacking on the cheek and then we turn the other side. Most folks won't admit it 'cause their pride is so uptight. It has a way of crushing walls and make you wanna cry. This is the beginning and the end's nowhere in sight. But you gotta see it coming, brother. In this life we all just want the truth. You give and you take, but always stay true to you. If love there ever was to be had, then love there always will be to spare. The trust there ever was to be had, then trust there always will be to spare. Girl, I don't wanna break your soul in two. I fill up my time, but I'm always thinking of you. In this life, I try to follow through. I'd say it's time that I came through for you. Hey! Down, what you gonna do? Don't stop trying. You've got to bounce back. Hey, hey, hey. When you think you've got no more to give, you're so tired of living this life we live. Don't stop trying. You've got to bounce back. Hey, hey. Bring your best into this world and you get shut down, what you gonna do? Don't stop trying. You've got to bounce back. Hey, hey, hey. When you think you've got no more to give, you're so tired of living this life we live. Don't stop trying. You've got to bounce back. Hey, hey, hey. Hey! soul into. I fill up my time, but I'm always thinking of you. In this life, I try to follow through. I'd say it's time that I came through for you. Hey, 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 when you get your best into this world, my bad, and you get shut down, what you gonna do? Don't stop trying, you've got to bounce back. Hey, 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 when you think you've got no more to give, you're so tired of living this life we live. Don't stop trying, you're gonna bounce back and do it again. All right, yeah. Just get back to my much nicer sounding microphone here.
So
Yeah.
I have a name for the podcast. It's Slabsolutely Slabulous.
Oh yeah. It's a possibility. I mean, like, in the comments, let us know what you think. We've mentioned lots of possible names. Right now, it's kind of like you guys are on the Music Road Coast, your band name. The street you live on. Well, I don't want to dox you. We probably shouldn't say that, but
Well, technically
I know where
now
you're
I
going
live
now.
on Rhythm Way.
oh, you're on Rhythm Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's upgraded.
So back to your question,
That's
because you
real.
asked, like, the road did not come. No, we did not come first. The road was called Music Road. All right, wrong microphone. The road was called Music Road and that's the reason I looked at when I saw a listing on Music Road. I was like, what? Like, there's a fucking Music Road? And
I
like,
must live there.
I must live there. That's it. So yeah, when we looked at it, it was like just meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So, but then since then, we've built a guest house, which my dad now lives in, and then built my house up on top of the hill. And since there's 3 dwellings on the road, I had to name a new road. And that
what a
was, I
privilege.
was like, yeah, but I was like, the whole reason I moved out here is because I wanted to live on Music Road. But like, so I was like,
Rhythm
can I
Way.
just call this one like Music Road also?
Music also road.
And then it took us
Music
into
Drive?
a nice long journey of trying, because they made us name a new road, and I was like, oh boy, like, learn how to drive. That was one of my favorites.
Oh, nice.
What else did we had? Yeah. Of course, Lucy wanted something like, Butterfly Lane. I was like, that's gay. Like, let's do something cooler than that. Yeah.
Rhythm Way is pretty damn good.
Yeah, Rhythm Way is what turned out. So now the Music Road studio is on the corner of Music Road and Rhythm Way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, in the
Yeah.
same vein of that Music Road being the inspiration behind the band name of like a real geographical location, that the studio is at the Outpost. So
Yeah.
Outpost
Right.
Podcast. I
Yeah.
typed it on the screen once. And it kind of just, after we looked at it, we were like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
It does, yeah.
So,
It looks
I mean,
nice that way too.
I'm trying to convince him to engrave it into that giant slab. Outpost Podcast.
That'd be very nice.
Yeah.
Maybe
His
burn it in there.
eyes.
he
get a
also
little
was trying
wider
to
every
convince
time I
me to
say
get
it.
tattooed on the podcast too. So he's all about like, just like,
we're straight up pursuing a license on this location,
I
so we
would
can do
it.
a
I would
tattoo
do it. Oh,
podcast.
That'd be amazing.
Whoa.
yeah, it would be
Dan's
my
just like-
first one too. so
pale and get.
Oh, it would be your first one?
yeah, but by the time, episode 327 comes out, I'll be
You'll be
There
done.
won't be any skin left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring some chewing gum.
is that a trick?
That's how I get through it.
Yeah.
You got to have something to gnash your teeth against, because it's fine at first.
Yeah.
Like anything, you can deal with a little pain, but then like, dude, 3 hours in,
Yeah.
especially then last time I made the mistake, like when because Abby did all this, shout out Abby, because she's amazing and did some amazing work, but the outline is fine, but then when you go to do the fill-in,
Yeah.
it's a much thicker or multiple needles type deal, and like she worked on it for like, an hour or more, and then I had to stop for some reason and do something else for like 30 minutes and then come back.
Oh yeah, that'll
And
that'll
that
mess you up.
was brutal,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
Because like
irritated.
your body's already like, oh my God, and then it stops and it's like, okay, it's over, and then you come back
a little more sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intense, dude. I will not lie. People are intense because it is painful.
Dude.
And that's on my arm, dude. I could never imagine.
We haven't done a whole lot of it, but all the rage now is just like full blackout or like gray out. Where like chicks will be getting their whole arm all the way up to here on both sides.
Oh wow.
Whole grayed out.
Wow, really?
Yeah. That stuff's intense. And then it's more about the negative space.
And there you go.
Yeah,
That's
and whenever I
We're
see
going
that,
all
I'm
the
like,
way-
holy shit, dude, that's intense.
yeah, skin is supposed to breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
But that'll be an exciting thing. I'd like to come.
You're gonna tune in for that episode.
Oh yeah. No, maybe I
Yeah.
need to. I'll be here.
Yeah.
You might need I can fan you.
Fan me.
Yeah.
Play me some soothing music.
Yeah, we
Well,
can trickle whiskey into your mouth just a little bit at a time.
The idea is we throw a couple mics on the artist too and just have a
They'll
podcast.
just they'll
Love it.
roast us while we're
Nice.
becoming.
Man, I'll join in for episode 2 of that. I'll get a tattoo for that. That sounds
I
great.
love it. What a good idea. Can we? Yeah.
Yeah, that might be part of our series out here.
Can it be naked? Can we all be naked too?
Well, we gotta get monetized.
We'll wait until we turn the cameras off for that
Get
one.
tattooed in the nude.
Oh, we got an editor. He can just he can just do all that
throw it
work.
on the edit.
Blur.
Just edit a fuzzy, like
Fuzzy censorship.
yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah,
Mm.
17 inches long. Just run it down your leg.
You guys have tell the people, this is going to come out in a couple months. So if you got anything upcoming or anything to plug, like everybody know where to find you.
That'd be musicroadco.com.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Instagram and Facebook and all those, Music Road Co. The CO, by the way, we call it Music Road Co., but the Co represents so much more than just company. Even if it did represent company at all, I'm not sure. It's
Collaboration.
yeah, it's about a collaboration
Community.
and a community and a cooperative and
Corroborate.
a cacophony and and all the good stuff. And we put some of that in our bio to try to kind of like get people to get that. We still get introduced as Music Road Company often, which doesn't bother me. Music Road Company was the original thought, my original thought, or when we were coming up with.
There's still
But-
something that rolls off the
Yeah.
tongue nicely with that.
It does, but
Yeah.
but anyhow, musicroadco.com.
Well, and
And-
Left Lane will be releasing soon, so that may even
Yeah.
have just dropped by
Yeah.
the time this does. We've got an album we released last year, self-titled Music Road Co. A lot of good stuff on there. We're gonna have Baba Dada coming out soon. We're working on getting a guest in on that one.
Yep.
May get him in here on the podcast, so that might be kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Nice.
Well, and then shout out to all our players too. We got
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yep.
congas, horn section, Jamie on keys. We got such a
Yeah.
good group of people, and that's where a 9-piece band works. I think is just everybody's down to have fun.
Yep.
And we got some alternative members that we bring in and out as people can't do it. And it's such a good community. I love playing with this band.
Yeah, me too. It was, our goal with this group was people we brought in or invited to be in the band. It was never really so much based on how good are they musically. It was really how good are they as people, how reasonable is everyone, how flexible is everyone. With a band that big, the last thing we needed was too many volatile personalities, which you find a lot with musicians. Dude,
musicians are the
man,
worst, bro.
yeah. So it's we found a really nice group. Everyone gets along well, and sure enough, still, there's usually someone who doesn't show up or is late or something, because with that many people, logistics.
Statistically, we're doing pretty damn good though.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the odds of everybody having the same date open alone is pretty amazing that we, get as many shows with all the members there.
Yeah.
well, it's
But-
also some damn work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
rounding
sure.
everybody
Shout out,
up
Lucy.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
And I really feel I should just, name them, Vladimir Espinosa on the congas from Cuba, who's my mentor and, taught me. I learned congas from him for a long time in Bata, and he taught me so much about music. And Jamie Allen, my brother, on keys.
Badass.
Yep, just incredible, in high demand, one of the best keyboard players in, I'd say, the whole southeast quadrant, if that's where we are. And Deb Tome on trombone. We've known Deb forever. Super good friend of ours. We love her to death.
She came in early with us from the very beginning.
Yeah, she was really threw down. And even before with Allian, she played with us at Floyd Fest long.
Spoon Fight.
Yeah. So like, we love Deb.
She's family.
And then I'm going to say Willis Greenstreet, who was with us for years, a saxophone player. He's not
Nasty
currently with us as often, but
he played with us last weekend.
He did, yeah, and we still bring him whenever we can. He's also he's in such high demand that it got to where it was like he could only accept like 1 out of every 5 gigs that I would throw at him. And I was like, well, we do need to find someone who's a little more. So that's when we found Bruce Coluccio, our new sax player, but also
love Bruce,
we
man.
love Bruce, fucking super easy to work with. And he's
great at his instrument.
And he loves learning new things, and he's just always down. And we love him. And
He's featured quite a bit on Babadada.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he threw down on that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah, he rips.
Ernie Freeman on trumpet, originally kind of from Roanoke. He's now living in Charlotte, which is making it a little bit difficult because he's so far away. But
He's made it work.
Yeah, he still made it work. He does his homework and he comes.
Yeah, shout out to Ernie for
That's
making
what's
the
up.
drive
Definitely.
up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same thing. These are just some of the best people on earth, like people that I just love to be with and hang with. So it's like a big part of it. And then,
Your son Nio,
then my
Taking
son
up,
Nio.
Guitar, percussion, drumming.
Yep.
We let him play some of his songs that he's writing. They're really good too.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, are we missing anyone? I think
we've had other players
that was all of them.
in and out
of course,
over the
Joel
years.
Stopka. I mean, as far as players
Yeah.
we've had, we love Joel too. But man, he's also just busy doing his projects. And John Stump, go ahead and give him a shout out.
Yeah,
He's joined
John
us
Stump.
multiple times. There's so many players. And
Zeph
Zeph,
holding it down
my
with us,
cousin.
filling in.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's nice to just name all of them and
our
make sure they.
And our band brother from another band mother, Gabe.
That's right,
know,
ambassador.
Yep, we play as the three of us also back up, along with other members, the ambassador.
Yep.
So
Yep. Shout out to Gabe for sure.
he's good
Yeah,
people.
I want to hit up Gabe on the podcast here at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
He'd
that'd
be
be great.
super fun to have.
Oh,
out.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you guys for coming up and doing this. And
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Thanks for putting it together, man.
It's very
Yeah.
exciting. The slabtacular. What was it, Jake?
Absolutely slabulous.
There you
Yes.
go. Yes.
Slab sessions at the Outpost Podcast.
Right?
Thanks
like-
for coming, guys.
Yeah,
I like the live
Thank you.
edge. I think that's where it's at.
Live edge. Yeah.
Well, see you next time.
All right.
All right.
Cheerio.
See you guys.
Take care.